Brian, let me go forward a bit more. In the shade, fast asleep. How amazing is that? Look at that, rolling around, getting comfy. So, as far as I understand, this is the Nkuhuma Pride of lions. So this group has got 5 adult lionesses and 6 cubs. It's such a special sighting. Do you see how heavy it's breathing? They've had a meal on the way to finding them now. We drove past a kill that they had maybe a day or so ago, and they're still digesting that, and the heavy breathing is helping with the digestion. It's called panting. What do you kids think? Would it be a nice... We are going to head over to Brent. He has got another spotted cat to show you. So while you were with Brent, we have repositioned our vehicle a little bit and have got a beautiful view. We have got a beautiful view of these cubs. How nice is that? Let's watch this guy move around us. And he disappears. Back to these two. Hunter, you are asking how fast is a lion? Lions run at around 22 meters per second when they are running at full speed, which converts to about 80 kilometers an hour. With miles an hour, I'm not sure. I would say maybe 50, if I'm not mistaken. Somewhere around 50 miles an hour. I'll just wait for this last one to maybe get up and move to the rest of the pride. The others are all behind me. I think we'll get a nice surprise when this guy, little guy, wants to move. See how he's cleaning himself? Their tongues are quite rough. It's like almost like sandpaper. And that allows them to clean themselves very well. And when they're feeding on a carcass, it allows them to take a lot of the meat off the bones in places that's difficult to chew on and not be able to get their teeth around it or into an area. Brian, maybe we can swing the camera around. It looks like all these cubs. Thuraya, you're asking about panting and how it helps with digestion. Before I answer this question, let me just tell you what these lions are up to. They are busy suckling. They're busy having a bit of milk from mum. How nice is that? The panting would help with digestion. I think it just gives a bit of extra oxygen going through the body, and all the processes just work better. How special is this to see all the cubs drinking? as the cubs get older and they start drinking less milk and eating more meat, they'll still keep trying to get a bit of milk from mum every now and then. And at some stage she gets quite angry with him and they start hurting her, and that really causes a bit of discomfort for her. You can imagine those sharp teeth biting into her. White Oaks Elementary. You're asking why some lions have hair around their neck. That hair around the neck is actually called a mane, and it is male lions that carry the mane. So it's to show which is male, which is female, and also it acts as a protection layer for when the males are fighting and trying to protect their prides and the territory that they do have. Yeah, mostly you'd only see them on males, but there has been record of females also having them. It's maybe just a quick or a genetic mutation that comes through, but it's not seen too often. I don't know of any record of that in the Kruger National Park area, of the area that we are in. I know there's been record of that in Botswana. FC, could you just repeat that question? I didn't hear. There's a lot of other chatter on the radio. I didn't hear you. Sorry, there's something not working with my mic, with my earpiece. I'm struggling to pick up what you guys are saying. Folks, while I try and sort out my earpiece problem, we're going to stay with these lions for a bit. We're going to go and see what Taylor is up to on the bushwalk. Alright, I've sorted out my earpiece, and Kelsey, I heard your question. You're asking why these cubs aren't as playful as the wolf pups that you are studying at school at the moment. They can be very playful. It is a hot day, so they're just relaxing and sleeping off the heat, waiting for the heat to pass. Later on during this afternoon, as it gets dark and cools down, they'll start playing a lot more. Often you see these babies running around, chasing each other, tripping over each other. All that play that they do have is all for the development for later in life, teaching them styles of hunting and how to take down prey, etc. So they can be very playful. They're just hot at the moment. It's like us after a big meal on a Sunday afternoon. You want to go and take a nap. Same thing here. They just do it a lot more and often. Jerry, you are asking what time of the day they hunt. Whenever opportunity presents itself, they will hunt. But their activity time is nighttime, so that gives them a better opportunity. They see much better at night, and most of their successful hunts would be at night rather than during the day. One of the things that help them, if we can zoom into one of their eyes, one of these adults, maybe we can look at, you'll see around the eye, and especially on the bottom, there's white markings, and that helps to reflect light into the eyes, and that assists at night to help them see better. White Oaks Elementary, you are asking how old lions get before they become adults. Probably around 2.5 to 3 years. That is when male cubs get pushed out of their natal pride and have to start fending for themselves. And as they grow into full maturity, it will take about maybe up to 4 or 5 years to be able to be strong enough to be able to take over a pride like this, push out the old male and take over. Females, about 3 to 4 years, they'll be fully grown and ready for mating. Folks, I think we're going to leave these lion cubs and their mums to do their thing. I don't think we're going to get any reaction or movement from them anytime soon. I think we must carry on, see what else we can find. Maybe we bump into some elephants. But for the time being, while we get out of the sighting and start looking for some elephants, we're going to head back over to Brent with the beautiful leopards. Still fast asleep. Doesn't look like there's much action. The one female's licking herself now, but hopefully soon we'll start getting a couple of yoga stretches and a bit of yawning, which will be a good indication of them wanting to move. So keep our fingers crossed and let's wait and see what's happening. Milton, you are asking if the cubs will be getting any hunting lessons soon. I think they are a little bit young to join in the hunts, in the physical hunts, but in a couple of months' time they'll be a lot closer and start getting tips from the adults. For the moment, it's just play amongst each other, chasing each other around and stalking each other, stalking the adults, and that is how they'll develop for the moment. When this vehicle moves out, we will reposition and get a nice view of them and maybe a bit of the sunset as well. I'm just going to make a little bit of space for them, just move back a tiny bit so that they can get out of here. I think they should be able to get out. Look at that. Afternoon. Alright. Let's get out their way. Lucy, you are asking if it's dirt on the cubs or if it is still mange. It is still a bit of mange. It looks like they're a lot healthier though, and Brian was also telling me they're looking a lot better. So slowly but surely getting back to good health. But unfortunately, it is still a bit of mange that's on their bellies. AJ, you're asking if there's any natural remedies to fight the mange. As I don't think so. I don't know of any. I haven't been told anything that the animals would use. So I think it's just as their condition gets better, they'll grow healthier. Look at that stretch. Oh, look at the claws coming out. Back in, nice yawn. Is that the cub that's called Floppy Ear? And Taylor told me it's her favorite cub. Interesting. There was a place that both Taylor and I worked at that had a female, an adult female. It was also called Floppy Ear, or Mandlev. Mandlev is the Shangaan word for ear. Quite a fierce leader of that southern pride in the southern Sabi Sands where we worked at. I had a very interesting encounter on foot with Mandlev. It was her and two other lionesses in a big open area, and we were following a male lion's tracks from the Sabi River heading up north into the area of our former workplace. We then lost his tracks, and we found these other tracks, which everyone at first thought were the male's tracks, and as we found out later, it wasn't. It was Mandlev and her two companions. So my tracker and I were walking on the road with a stick playing, marking the tracks, and the next minute we heard something run out of a little thicket in this open area. And at first I thought maybe a duiker or steenbok that got a fright and ran off. And as I lifted my head, we had these three lionesses looking at us like 15, 20 meters away. And then we grabbed each other and gave each other a big hug, stood together to try and look bigger. And the people on the vehicle a couple of meters away were like, "What are you doing? Why are you hugging each other?" And he said, "Lions." And we're pointing to the lions. And like, what are you saying? And said lions. And eventually they saw the lions, and slowly but surely we crept back to the vehicle. Luckily we didn't get any aggression out of this floppy-eared lioness, because she was known for giving the guys a bit of a fright when they're trekking on foot. She's definitely not a lioness that you want to walk into when you are tracking her and she's got cubs. So with her, and in a situation like this, I wouldn't have walked in and tried to look for her. Some flies bothering the one lioness just to the left of this one grooming himself. I always wonder how these animals are so comfortable sleeping when they don't have any bedding or pillows to rest their heads on. I always find it looking quite awkward when they're lying down. It was amazing it's amazing when you're looking at a fine detail like this, and what the camera allows us to do is like zoom in onto those paws. You can see the amount of hair between the digits of their toes and around their foot, around the back pad of their foot. That allows them to move around very softly. Another thing that helps with that is them stepping exactly where the back foot going exactly where the front foot was before when they walk around. Maybe if one of them gets up and starts moving, we'll be able to show that to you. Janice, you are asking how much longer these cubs will be nursing for. From what I can gather, these cubs are about 6 months old. I think they'll be starting to get taken off the milk slowly but surely. But they'll still drink for a couple of months at least. Get milk every now and then, just less and less of it as they keep going and growing. There's one still having a proper drink there. See how the one that's drinking and the one next to it, the one that was drinking or is still drinking, look how his ears are folded back, protecting the ears from maybe fighting. If often around kills you see that as well when they're feeding, like pull the ears and tuck the ears into their head. It just adds, often around a kill there'll be a slaps being handed out and a lot of biting and grunting at each other, and with the ears being folded in, that protects them quite well. Catherine, your comment saying that you love how the lions snuggle together, it is amazing. And it's also very important that they do snuggle up and have a bit of contact. It just keeps group cohesion and just, now I've lost the word. The relationships of the animals intact. Often when they've split up, moved off and get back together, you'll see a lot of touching and caressing of each other, greeting each other, and that all helps and adds on to the group and the relationship, how strong the relationship and the bond is. Bless you. Female that's giving a bit of milk, sneezing now. Christina in Australia, you are asking if I think the lion's fur will grow back after the mange is gone. I think it will. I don't know, Brian, did they look a lot worse and slowly but surely coming back?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. So definitely when their condition gets better, it'll grow back and they'll look like proper healthy lions again. The heat feels like it's lifting a bit. It's cooling down nicely now as the sun is disappearing. Nice bit of cloud cover. The hopes I had for rain that we had this morning, I don't think is going to come today. But it should at some stage come. We're hoping and keeping our fingers crossed that it'll come sooner than later. Hopefully the heat and the clouds and the humidity will just keep building over the week, and we'll get some good thunderstorms to fill up all the different dams in the area. I think one of the lions is snoring. Brian, did you hear that? It sounded like one of them was snoring. Maybe this female closest to us on the right. Or no, it's the cubs fighting for the milk. It sounded a bit like a snore. Michelle, you are 100% right. Lions are very patient mothers. I mean, you can just imagine those little sharp teeth biting into you to get to the milk. That would not be the nicest feeling, and they just lay there and take it. Only up to a point though, but they take it for the moment and for the time being. It is such a privilege to just be able to sit here and watch these animals do their thing without us being any sort of a pain to them. We're not bothering them at all. They just carry on with their daily routine as if we weren't here. It's such a privilege to be part of something like this. Get a bit of insight to the lion life.
The lioness is snoring.
She is snoring.
Yeah.
So I wasn't lying. Snoring and fighting for milk. Hello? Mum that was giving milk has just gotten up. Let's see if we can see when she starts more walking. Look at the paws and where she places the back paw. Almost exactly where the front foot was before. She's just relieving herself. Brian, I hope we're in the right spot for the wind, otherwise it's going to smell horrible. Charlie, you are asking how many lionesses am I counting? I can see 4 at the moment, unless I'm missing one. But yeah, just 4 at the moment. One might be sleeping under a bush somewhere that we're just not seeing at the moment. But I think the entire group is here. I wonder if this little cub is going to come back and try and get some more milk. Let's see. Yeah. Back for another helping. Mum, I want seconds. Folks, while I spend a little bit more time with these amazing creatures, we're going to head back over to Brent and see what those leopards are up to. Welcome back. It looks like this little cub is trying to cover up his eyes. I wonder if he's thinking, when are we going to start moving? And like almost like scratching his head about it. Or if he's covering his eyes to get the last, to avoid the light. Not that I think that's that, but it's a possibility. The only movement we've had so far is just the lions chasing around flies, biting at them, chasing them with their tails and their paws. There's been no sign, no yawning yet, no sign of them wanting to get active anytime soon. But we've got the time. Let's sit and wait and see what they get up to. Ooh, something's got their attention. There's another lion that's calling, maybe that fifth lioness. It's contact calling just to the left of us. Lana, age 13, you're asking about which of the predators get the least amount of sleep. I think the poor cheetahs get the least amount of sleep. Look at that. In a flash, everyone is up and calling each other. Just listen to that. Let's just reposition here quickly. I think we are going to struggle to follow these lions if they go into the bush further, further to the east. It looks like it's quite a thick bush with a couple of drainage systems in it. So let's have a look at them. I don't think we're going to have them for much longer. Oh, it must be that other female that was calling them. Listen to that little cub calling. We have gotten on the other side of the wind now, and where that lioness relieved herself, it's all blowing towards us, and we're picking up the smell. It is not the nicest smell to be around. I wonder if there's a way for us to get on the other side of this drainage line, and then maybe try and make our way in and try and catch up with them again. Brian, do you think we should quickly race around and see if we can get them again? Or we're going to get stuck there? While we head around and try and find these lions again, we're going to head back to Brent with the leopard. And it sounds like there's something exciting happening there. Folks, we have found these lions again. Just doing our last bit of maneuvering in here. Just bear with us. Let's see if we can get a bit closer. They are back sleeping again. Ooh. There'll be a lot of maneuvering around here. Brian, just hold on. This is going to be a bit bumpy. We made it over. They are just to the right of us here. There's two cubs drinking again. I haven't done a head count again, but I would guess that all 5 of the females are here now. It must have been the other female that called them and brought them through the drainage line back to where they are now. Should we go forward a bit more? There we've got 1, 2, 3, 1. All 5 of them are here. We're looking at the one giving milk at the back, the 2 adult lionesses in the middle, and then the one giving milk in the front. And then just to our right, we've got the 5th lioness. It is great that they've all gotten together. Folks, we are close to the end of our show.